Chapter 10, Section 1, Pell, Sector Blue 1, Council Chambers, 10-6-52, 1400 hours. Council was breaking up early, having passed what measures were set before it to pass, with Cherryh of India sitting in grim witness of what they said and what they did, his stone-still countenance casting a pall on debate. On this third day of the crisis, Mazian made his demands and obtained. Kressich gathered up his notes and came down from the uppermost tier into the sunken center of the chambers, by the seats about the table, delayed there, resisting the outflow of traffic, looking anxiously toward Angelo Constantine, who conferred with Newen and Landgraf and some of the other representatives. Cherryh still sat at the table, listening, his bronze face like a mask. He feared Cherryh, feared to raise his business in front of him. But he went, nevertheless, edged insistently as close as he could get to the head of it, into that private company about Constantine where he knew he was not wanted. Q's representative, reminder of problems no one had time to solve. He waited while Constantine finished his discussion with the others, stared at Constantine intently, so that Constantine should be aware that his particular attention was wanted. At last, Constantine took note of him, stayed a moment from his evident intention to leave in Cherryh's company, for Cherryh had risen. "Sir," Kressich said, "Mr. Constantine." He drew from his folder of papers one which he had prepared, proffered it to Constantine's hand. "I have limited facilities, Mr. Constantine. Comp and print isn't accessible to me where I live. You know that. The situation there—" He moistened his lips, conscious of Constantine's frown. "My office was nearly mobbed last night. Please, sir, can we assure any constituents that the Downbelow appointments will continue?" "That's under negotiation, Mr. Kressich. The station is making every effort to get procedures back to normal, but programs are being reviewed. Policy and directions are being reviewed." "It's the only hope." He avoided Cherryh's stare, kept his eyes fixed on Constantine. "Without that, we've got no hope. Our people will go to Downbelow, to the fleet, to any place that will take them. Only the applications have to be accepted. They have to see there's hope of getting out. Please, sir." "The nature of this?" Constantine asked, lifting the paper to view. "A bill I haven't the facilities to reproduce for the council to consider. I hoped your staff, regarding the applications." "Regarding that, sir." "The program remains," Cherryh interrupted coldly, "under discussion." "We'll try," Constantine said, placing the paper among the others he held. "I can't bring this up on the floor, Mr. Kressich. You understand that? Not until the basic issues in question are resolved at other levels. I'll have to hold it, and I earnestly beg that you don't bring up the question tomorrow, although of course you can do that. Public debate might upset negotiations. You're a man experienced in government. You understand me. But in courtesy, if we can bring this up at some future meeting, I'll of course have my staff prepare this or other bills for distribution. You understand my position, sir?" "Yes, sir," he said, sick at heart. "Thank you." He turned away. He had hoped, dimly. He had hoped also for a chance to appeal for station help, security, protection. He did not want Cherryh's sort of protection, dared not ask. They had seen the fleet's mercy in the persons of military and Sung and Kressich. The troops would come in, take Coletti's organization apart as a beginning, his security, all the protection he had. He walked out into the council chambers foyer, past the mocking, amazed stares of Downbelow's statues, out the glass doors into the hall, and, unmolested by the guards, walked towards the lift which would take him down to the Blue Niner level, to go home, back to Q. There was something like normal traffic in the corridors of Main Station now, thinner than usual, but station residents were back about their jobs and moving freely, if cautiously. No one tended to linger anywhere. Someone jostled him in meeting. A hand met his, pressed a card into it. He stopped, with a confused impression of a man, a face he had not bothered to see. In terror, he resisted the impulse to look about. He pretended to adjust the papers in his folder, walked on, and farther down the hall examined the card. An access card, a bit of tape on its surface. Green 90434. An address. He kept walking, dropped the hand with the card to his side, his heart hammering against his ribs. He could ignore it, pass on back into Q, could turn the card in, claim to have found it, or tell the truth. That someone wanted to contact him without others' knowledge. Politics. It had to be. Someone willing to take a risk wanted something from the representative of Q. A trap. Or hope. A trade of influence. Someone who might be able to move obstructions. He could reach Green 9. Just an accidental wrong button on the lift. He stopped in front of the lift call plate, alone. Coded green and stood in front of the panel so no one passing might notice the glowing green. The car came, the doors open. He stepped in, and a woman came darting in at the last moment, punched the inside plate to code green 2. Doors shut. He looked furtively at her as the car began to move, averted his eyes quickly. The car made a one-section traverse and started down. She got off at 2. He stayed on, while the car picked up passengers, none that knew him. It stopped at 6, at 7, acquired more. At 8, 2 got out. 9, he exited with 4 others, walked towards the docks, his fingers sweating on the card. He passed occasional troopers, who kept a general watch on the flow of traffic in the halls. None of them was likely to notice an ordinary man walking down a hall, stopping at a door, using a card to enter. It was the most natural of actions. Crossway 4 was coming up. There was no guard there. He slowed, thinking desperately, his heart speeding. He began to think of walking on. A walker just behind him hooked his sleeve and brusquely swept him forward. "Come on," the man said, and turned the corner with him. He made no resistance, fearing knives, instincts bred in Q. Of course, the deliverer of the card had come down too, or had some confederate. He moved puppet-like, walked the cross hall to the door. Let free, the walker passing on. He used the card. He walked in. It was a small apartment, with an unmade bed, discarded clothes lying all over it. A man walked out of the nook which served as a kitchen. A nondescript man in his middle 30s. "Who are you?" the man asked him. It set him off balance. He started to pocket the card, but the man held out his hand demanding it. He surrendered it. "Name?" the man asked. "Kressich," and desperately, "I'm due. They'll miss me any minute." "Then I won't keep you too long. You're from Russell's Star, Mr. Kressich, yes?" "I thought you didn't know me. A wife, Jen Justin. A son, Romy." He felt beside him for a littered chair, leaned on it, his heart paining him. "What are you talking about?" "Am I correct? Vasily Kressich." He nodded. "The trust your fellow citizens of Q have placed in you to represent their interests. You are, of course, one whose initiative they respect regarding their interests. Make your point." "Your constituency is in a bad position, papers entangled, and when the military security gets tighter, as it will, with Mazian's forces in control,
I do wonder, Mr. Kressich, what kind of measures could be set up? You've all opposed union after one fashion and the other, of course. Some out of genuine dislike, some out of self-interest, some out of convenience. You, now, what sort are you? Where do you get your information? Official sources. I know a great deal about you that you never told this comp. I've done research. To put it finely, I've seen your wife and son, Mr. Kressich. Are you interested?
He nodded, unable to do more than nod. He leaned on the chair, trying to breathe.
They're well, on a station the name of which I know, where I saw them, or perhaps moved by now. Union has realized their possible value, knowing the name of the man who represents so formidable a number of people on Pell. Computer search turned them up, but they'll not be lost again. Would you like to see them again, Mr. Kressich? What do you want from me? A little of your time, a little preparation for the future. You can protect yourself, your family, your constituents, who are pariahs under Mazian. What help could you get from Mazian in locating your family? Or how could you get to them? And surely there are other families divided, who may now repent a rash decision, a decision Mazian forced them to take, who may understand that the real interest of any Beyonder is the Beyond itself. Your union,
Kressich said, to have it beyond doubt.
Mr. Kressich, I'm Beyonder, aren't you?
He sat down on the arm of the chair, for his knees were unsteady.
What is it you want? Surely there's a power structure in Q, something you would know. Surely a man like you is in contact with it. I have contacts. And influence. You'll be in Union's hands sooner or later. You realize that, if Mazian doesn't take measures of his own. Do you realize what he might do if he decides he wants to stay here? You think he's going to have Q near his ships? No, Mr. Kressich. You're on the one hand cheap labor, on the other a nuisance, depending on the situation. The way things are going to go, very soon, you're going to be a liability to him. What means can I use to contact you, Mr. Kressich? You contacted me today. Where is your office? Orange 91001. Is that calm? Station. Just station can call through to me, and it breaks down. Anytime I want to call, I have to clear it through Comm Central. It's set up that way. You can't call through, and it's always broken. Q is prone to riot, is it not?
He nodded.
Could the counselor of Q arrange one?
A second time he nodded. Sweat was running down his face, his sides.
Can you get me off Pell? When you've done what you can do for me, a guaranteed ticket off, Mr. Kressich. Gather your forces. I don't even ask to know who they are, but you'll know me. A message from me will use the word Vasily. That's all. Just the word. And if such a call should come, you see that there is immediate and widespread disturbance. And for that, you may begin to look forward to that reunion. Who are you? Go on now. You've lost no more than 10 minutes of your time. You can make up most of it. I'd hurry, Mr. Kressich.
He rose, glanced back, left in haste, the corridor air cold on his face. No one challenged him, no one noticed. He matched the pace of the main corridor and decided that if challenged about the time, he had talked to Constantine, talked to people in the foyer, that he had gotten ill and stopped in a restroom. Constantine himself would attest that he had left upset. He wiped his face with his hand, his vision tending to blur, rounded the corner onto Green Dock, and kept walking, into blue, and toward the line. There was a knock at the door. Hale answered it, and John turned tensely from his place by the kitchen bar, let go a profound sigh of relief as Jasad walked in, and the door closed behind him.
"No trouble,"
Jasad said.
"They're covering up the signs, you know, preparing for in-station action. Makes finding directions a little difficult."
"Kressich, confound you."
"No trouble."
Jasad stripped off his coat and tossed it to Hale's man, Kiefer, who had appeared from the bedroom. Kiefer felt the jacket pocket at once, recovered his papers with understandable relief.
"You didn't get stopped?"
Kiefer said.
"No,"
Jasad said.
"Just walked right to your apartment, went in, sent your partner out with the card. All very smooth."
"He agreed?" John asked.
"Of course he agreed."
Jasad was in an unusual mood, feeling a residue of excitement, his normally dull eyes alive with humor. He walked over to the bar and poured himself a drink.
"My clothes,"
Kiefer objected. Jasad laughed, sipped at the drink, then set it down and began to take off the shirt.
"He's back in queue by now, and we control it."